Hello and welcome back. As you saw in my last video, I am pregnant and I'm almost 6 weeks now, preparing a few freezer meals for when those really tough evenings come. They call it morning sickness, but it's really more like evening sickness to me. I don't know, just evenings are so hard. So I'm using this 1 week before I know I start feeling bad to stock up on some high protein from scratch meals for when those tough nights inevitably come. I really hope I can end up stomaching some of this protein, but if not, at least I'm gonna feel good because my family gets a balanced meal while I just eat the pasta, and that's okay. I know I'm gonna thank myself every time I pull out one of these, and it's gonna save us a ton of money not having to rely on takeout. I'm starting with some super good homemade chicken nuggets that we just love. To make them even more nourishing, I'm using my whole wheat sourdough for the bread filling and for the crispy outer layer of the nuggets. I am tripling this recipe, and for most of the ground chicken, I'm using this blend of chicken meat, liver, heart, and gizzards. Items that are really packed with nutrition for our bodies that we need, but we're never really going to want to eat a chicken liver, right? No one will tell since these are in chicken nuggets, and actually you can see here the meat is so much more moist, so the nuggets don't really dry out at all and turn out really good. I use this meat for the chicken breakfast sausages I make from time to time, and they're always really good too. I have quite enough bread for all of this that I need, but we're just gonna see how it goes. Maybe I'm gonna lightly breadcrumb them, but I need to make some more bread. I would do like a Caesar dressing, but I've been really craving ranch, so I'm gonna try that now. I need to get some, I have this in my fridge, this is like a backup, but I need to get some avocado mayo because I don't really trust making it with raw eggs when I'm pregnant. It's one of the things I try not to take as many risks as I do. Normally, I wouldn't really care too much. I really like a runny ranch. That's like my favorite thing about a restaurant, even though I know it's not good for us. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit more on the runnier side. Go get a few herbs from outside too to go in this, some chives and some parsley. Go ahead and finish this off. Let it sit in the fridge. It's nice if it can sit in the fridge for a little while. This is our first harvest. I don't know if you could call it that, but it's nice to be able to have it again. So nice walking out there. It's just full of pollen right now. I am a little nervous about trying to start the garden right when I'm not going to be feeling well, but hopefully these meals will help me, do some of those other things that I can't prep too far ahead. Nothing better than some fresh, crisp sourdough to go with a salad, right? I think I could eat like a Caesar salad and sourdough every single day and not get tired of it. My family also gobbles this bread down when it's just come out of the oven. It's almost like a dessert treat, I feel like. And I found that throwing in a few ice cubes into, the Dutch oven helps create a better oven spring. Looking at this, I really don't think I'm gonna have enough some breadcrumbs for this. It definitely doesn't look like enough. So I might just use what I can for tonight, and then I'll make some more breadcrumbs this evening and freeze the rest that I wanted to do anyway. But that's the thing about from scratch. You just kind of learn as you go. You don't always think about everything and everything you need when you're trying to, not just grab it from the pantry. I think those breadcrumbs got us just enough for tonight, thankfully, so I'm happy there. I'm just gonna pop the rest in the fridge and finish those tonight after this bread comes out the oven. But this bakes at 350 for 30 minutes, and then I can just throw the salad together with, might add a few tomatoes. Caesar would be another great choice for dressing. Like, I think chicken nuggets and Caesar salad, like a romaine Caesar salad, goes so well together with some crusty bread. I just made also ranch because I know it's something my kids will also eat. Well, I'm not sure if they'll like Caesar or not. I should try it with them. I've never done it. Just gonna get this salad washed up and then go play with the kids a bit while we wait for everything to bake. And dinners are ready with a few tasks later for the freezer meal. These turned out super yummy, not dry at all, and no one mentioned liver or gizzards, but I do think the ranch might have been the star of the show. The kids really did love them as much as we did, and it's such a nice way to fit some salad into my diet every now and then. These chicken nuggets were such a hit last night, and look how many I was able to freeze. I should have gotten them in a bag last night, but I didn't get to that. I was really tired. I tried to get some breadcrumbs from the fresh bread, but it didn't turn out. Like, I guess the fresh bread was just way too moist and it just kind of balled up. So I just froze them like this. We'll see if we still like them like this. I think they'll still be okay. Probably not as good, but better than nothing, right? My youngest usually is not a big fan of chicken nuggets, but he really liked these. I think because they're not too crispy. Some of them, or a lot of them you can get, are a little too crispy for young kids. So this is great, healthy, don't cost a fortune either, and made with really good ingredients. Just got a little freezer burnt, but it's okay. I'll just be able to take these out and pop them in the oven for around 35 minutes or 40 minutes and they'll be ready. Tonight I wanted to make some meatballs, some pork meatballs, like more of like an Asian style. They were out of pork, unfortunately, at the grocery store, so I'm gonna make them out of this chicken again and make just some ground turkey that I had in the freezer. Not the best, I think it would be better with pork, but it'll be okay. I do feel my energy starting to drain though. I'm glad I did this weekend because I think this is the last weekend that I'll have enough energy to really put too much extra time into food or really anything. I'm just almost 6 weeks now, so it's usually around 7 that I start to get really tired and nauseous. But thankfully the nausea has been like at bay this week. I think eating kind of high protein meals and eating every few hours when I start to feel a little hungry, I'll eat something. That's really helping to keep the nausea away, but I definitely feel a little unmotivated, a little tired, and just, you know, just sleepy, you know, which makes sense. But usually spring is like this whole fresh energy that comes, but not feeling it anymore, and that's also understandable. So it's just how it is, right? I'm really trying to make sure I eat enough protein this pregnancy, but also the first trimester. I think it really helps with how you feel, I've read. So I'm trying to make little changes this time around. We'll see how it goes. So I think meatballs is a great like freezer type of meal to have on hand for this. So I'm hoping to sort of stock up on these pork meatballs, and I also, if I get the time this afternoon, I'm gonna make just some normal like meatballs that could go with spaghetti. These are just like any other meatball, except I'm gonna use some garlic and ginger as the spices. Breadcrumbs, of course, with a little bit of egg. I'm almost out of garlic, so I keep this minced garlic in. Korean recipes use a lot of this. Good amount of this. And then some ginger. Yeah, I wanna chop up some green onions to go in there instead of normal onions, and some sesame oil and seeds. And then, you know, just make a soy sauce based sauce to go over that, and some rice, and it's kind of a different way to eat meatballs. This is the breadcrumbs I tried to make last night, and like literally just turned into balls of bread. but I've been letting them set out and dry, kind of dry out the bread tonight. I did toast it a little bit last night to try to fix it. It didn't help. So I should have toasted the bread before, but usually with, I guess with the kind of couple day old bread, I get away with not having to toast it before. But yeah, let's hope it feels nice and dry. So I'm gonna try to blitz this and put it in with the 2 meatballs, but I'm gonna wait until my kids wake up because this thing is loud and that will certainly wake them up. The boys have really been loving yogurt these days with just honey, a little bit of strawberries, a few pieces of cereal, and I'm really liking it as a treat too when I'm feeling just slightly nauseous. It goes down really well and is decently high in protein, especially Greek. So I'm gonna strain this. I'm trying to strain it a little bit because I found my kids, if I strain it too long, you know, maybe just till the end of the night, I'll put it away tonight. Braved up and blended these again, but they're still very big and they don't seem to really be getting much smaller. So for the normal meatballs, you soak them in milk. So I'm gonna try that for both this and the pork. This will help it like just absorb, get a little softer, and allow me to mix it a little bit more into the meatballs. These Italian meatballs are really a family favorite and ones my kids actually eat. The breadcrumbs and milk just set in that milk for a bit, then I add in some eggs, grated onion, do not skip those, cheese, garlic, salt and pep to form this nice paste. Then the beef and pork goes in, and I do find my kids like them more if I do half pork. I freeze them on a baking sheet and just can pop however many I need later into an oven for about 30 minutes, and you would never tell they were frozen before. Great thing to prepare ahead of time for maybe a big party. I love meatball subs, of course. Easy to throw over pasta or into a casserole. It's just so nice to make these in bulk because making them individually is a bit of a pain, but if you do it all at once, it makes it actually a lot easier. I was able to get the Asian meatballs rolled out too, and I'm having a third of them for dinner tonight. I'm going to bake them halfway in a casserole dish, then throw in the sauce and finish baking them. If you're short on time, you can definitely do it quicker in a pan and they do get a little bit more crispy. This is just a very hands-off way of doing it, which I needed it after being in the kitchen so much today. My dad used to make this super simple fried cabbage recipe that I've been thinking and craving lately. I'm not sure how it will go with Asian food, but you know, cabbage is kind of a staple in their cuisines, so hoping the sauce will just tie it all together if I use a flavorless oil to fry them in. It's a super simple like side dish that adds a quick veggie to a meal, and I'm just trying to get better at doing this consistently. I tend to like maybe not want to do it because my kids usually don't want it, but it's important that they have these things on their plate, and gradually over time they will start eating them. And it turned out so good to pretty much not have a plan for the meal. They kind of all came together, and now we have a plenty of meatballs left to either serve over rice, maybe add into a soup too. With all those meat dishes stored away in the freezer, I wanted something totally different, but still high protein, so of course beans came to mind. I remember my dad, I don't know, drawing some inspiration from him these days, but cooking this like big pot of beans during childhood. It's a pretty traditional dish around here, and I know the key to making it taste good is to have a big piece of salted meat. So I searched the internet and found a similar recipe that I hope is just as good. I soaked the beans for a few hours to just speed up cook time during church, and now throwing the beans in with the salted meat to let them simmer together until soft, about 45 minutes. This creates all the flavor, them simmering with that meat. Then all the veggies and the other meat goes in with a bit of broth to simmer away for a few more hours. The longer you simmer these, the creamier they get, so like up to 4 hours. They just get more delicious with time. I only did it for about 2 hours and they still turned out super, super good. This Black Forest mini ham is really great for sandwich meat too. I'll usually buy it, use half for sandwich meat that week, and then freeze the other half to take out and use for sandwich meat later on. It's really cheaper and better than buying normal deli meat because it doesn't have any of those nitrates or other preservatives in it. This brought me back to my childhood, I must say, especially the smell in the house. I loved it. It made me happy the whole afternoon, even though I definitely started to feel very, very tired. This was the last day that I felt great. So I'm just glad I tried to recreate this meal, and it's definitely a recipe that can last multiple meals. I think we ate it for 2 meals and then had a bunch in the freezer. Thanks for joining along. I hope you got a few freezer meals for whatever you need to prepare for, if it's pregnancy or some big things coming up. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and take care.